GM. Hey guys, I hope everything is very well. I just wanted to make you this video to post my results of my backtesting, and I want to show you first of all how I use the system. So I opted for the EMA strategy on the 1 day and the 4 hour. So this is more like a long term between brackets swing trading kind of style. And I didn't use any confluence or extra indicators or anything like that. So it's just the EMA bands and daily and 4 hours. So this is the only signal is when the bands are red, you're going to be looking for shorts, and I'm going to look for entries on the 4 hour. And when the bands flip green, so when the daily flips green and the 4 hour is also green, I'm going to look for the entry at the 4 hour and then just set a 2-to-1 risk ratio. So what I did is I just went into replay mode, then you just do a random bar, okay, and there we go. So that's how I just went about it, and I just looked back a little bit to kind of have an idea of the price action, but I didn't fully check everything into detail or marked any levels or anything like that. It's just pure based on price action. So my eye was constantly drawn to the bands and what the candle was doing in comparing basically with the bands. So was it playing with it, was it respecting it, and then based on that I went for a trade or not. So the first rule is that the bands needs to be red before entry. So now this would have been already a quite good entry right over here, for example, because you can clearly see that we go through it, but the bands is not red yet. So we're going to wait it out. And this is how I did my backtesting. So I would go random bar, start play, 0.1x to make it slow. Excuse me, because if it's too fast, you don't really have time to think or to even choose anything. So let's see if we can actually make the bands turn red now. That's our first signal that we're waiting for. So let's see what happens. We go back here. A rejection. Yeah, let's play it a little bit faster just to kind of have an idea. I just want to show you what I did with all my back tests. So we're still in the green. So that's what I also figured out in my tests, and I wanted to mention this to you, is that when the bands are really still green, even though it looks like they're going to flip over, if they're still green, there is still a big chance that it actually turns into bullish price action, especially if the green gets flipped, if the 4 hour gets flipped into green, and this is showing like it's going to go down, there is still a big chance that it actually does go up. So in this case, for example, the price action is up. So now I'm going to put it slower again and see if we can find an entry, because now we're green and green. So that's my first signal. And now I want to wait for a retest of the band. So yeah, it could be some really bullish action, because now we are very extended over the bands on the 4 and the 1 day. Okay, so now we're slow again. So we're green, we had an impulse candle up, we rejected, and now we are actually coming back into this 4 hours. So what I would now do on my test, because this was just pure based on testing, I want to go long. then I want to kind of look for now of course I can put it below this swing, for example, so I have a pretty tight stop loss. But in this case, for example, I can clearly see that we're quite extended from the daily as well. So there is a high chance that we do come back down again for a retest. So in this case now, I already kind of know that this might be a bit risky. So I think I want to go lower and make my trade a little bit more extended, which could extend the trade, but at least it gives me a bit of a more safe feeling in taking the trade. So let's play the trade, see what happens just for the hell of it. And then I'm also going to show you some of the results. So yeah, pretty nice bounce up. Not sure if it's going to keep going, but let's follow. Let's see what happens. Okay, price action, consolidation, maybe a little tap again in the 4 hour over here, a new tap. But yeah, price action is a bit mixed. We're coming back to BE. Okay. I just follow. So yeah, I do want to tell you that this backtest did take quite some time. I think I have been working for like around 9 hours. So now I'm flipping red. So I think now I do kind of want to put my stop at BE because the band has flipped red. It's not green anymore. So now I kind of just go out of the trade. But this is something that I didn't do in my backtesting. So now I would put down a loss. So actually, yeah, I now kind of closed. Wait a minute. Take this out. Go back. Go back. So I still want to keep it playing because in this test I didn't choose to set my stops at BE. So it's either a loss or it's a win. Just to keep it simple, you know. But now we're retesting the daily here. Let's see if we can get some bullish momentum again. If we touch that daily, let's see. Okay, we're going down. Clear downward move. Now we're even through the bands, but we could still go up. So I definitely know that when I see the results, which I will show you after this trade is finished, there is definitely things that I can add onto this system to make it much more, not per se working more, but to protect my downside better. I'm not really sure if I can have higher wins per se, but I do think that if I see that it's turning red, for example, again on the 4 hour, it would be a good practice to just set BE or even just to go out of the trade when I see that. So it could be like more an organic stop loss rather than just, okay, actually price action is going bearish, let's just get out. But as you can see, sometimes the trade actually goes on much longer than you would expect, and sometimes it could still end up to be a win. But we're already holding it since 17 February and it's now 2 March, so that's almost 2 weeks. But yeah, there we have it. So this is a loss. So now I would put in all my my numbers inside of the calculator, and not the calculator but the sheet. So for example, we would have a BTC long, the date and the time, fill everything in automatically. You will learn that in the school. And for this system, without anything, so this is just a clean, no volume, nothing else, so just the EMA bands, I have a win rate of 62%. And for every risk I take, I get a 0.87 return basically. So I'm actually pretty happy with that result. I'm really happy with that result, and I hope that you guys also learn something with this, and maybe we can all kind of test each other's systems, or maybe add some indicators that someone else is testing in their system, or maybe someone is interested in trying on a lower time frame, that would be super cool, and we can kind of add our systems and make it like a very nice thing, you know. So yeah, this is my stuff. So EMA band retest after breakout 4 hour plus 1 day. Stop loss above, below EMA band, or a swing high or a low, depending on, you know, it depends a little bit on the situation. If it's really bullish or if it's not bullish, and then a 2 to 1 take profit. So fixed. Again, I think maybe if this would be variable, excuse me. For example, if I only see that the 4 hour is flipping, then maybe get out. Or maybe if it keeps going up, not take profit, but only do take profit when the 4 hour flips. This is definitely something that we could also try, or that I will try. And then some things that I have put down while doing the backtest is that when we have a strong up downtrends, bands are more respected. So when it's very strong, the bands, if it goes for a retest on the 4 hour, it gets respected more than if it's already in a consolidating phase. The bands are not that good to kind of use as an entry or something like that. Then consolidation or choppy action means bands not as reliable. Okay, in choppy conditions, more extended stop loss could be favored, or maybe even go for a half risk. Trend only really shifted when band on daily changes color. So what I kind of showed you is that even when the band is turning down on the daily, it doesn't mean that the bullish price action is already over. You could still see a bounce up rather than just immediately going down. And a lot of the times it does happen that when it's still green, you could actually go still go for a long if the 4 hour is still showing a bullish momentum as well. It could still be favorable than not doing it and just saying, yeah, it already is flipping. Flipping doesn't mean because the EMA is lagging behind the price action. Okay. Then when the bands on the 4 hour curl up or down very strongly and they are also tapping the daily band, you really have a high probable trade. This is something that I figured out. If it's very strongly rejecting on the 4 hour and that rejection comes from a daily tap or from the 12 or the 21, there is a very high chance that if you put your stop above the swing with a 2 to 1, that it is a very probable trade to win. Yeah. Strong down upper move, expect the break of the 4 hour. Yeah, stuff like that. But you can pause the video, kind of have a look at my thoughts while I was doing the back tests. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to post you this and give you a little update on how I did it. So yeah, good luck guys. GM.